Hey, what up everybody? My name is Fallout. Come on in and take a seat. There's probably a lot of arguing going on already, even though people haven't watched a minute of the video, so we got a lot of ground to cover, so take a seat, here we go. Really quick, if you're new to the channel, do me a favor and click subscribe. We have a great community out here, and it's growing every damn day, so thanks to all of you for being a part of it. Also, shout out to Advanced GG, damn good tasting and sugar-free drink that can give you energy and help you focus. Don't have my own flavor yet, but there's tons of good flavors out there. I recommend strawberry shortcake. Use promo code Fallout at checkout to get a thick discount on your order, link down in the video description. Today I want to talk about SMGs in Destiny 2 and why I think they're being slept on by a lot of people. Take note, by the way, I said a lot of people, not all of the people. I know there are tons of you out there who already know everything I'm about to tell you. They're out there spreading the gospel of the Church of Holding Forward every weekend of trials, every time Iron Banner comes around, yada yada yada. But there are others, non-believers if you will, holdouts who don't want to hear the good word because to deny the hand cannon to them would be heresy. What the hell am I talking about? All right, why don't we back up for a minute? SMGs in Destiny, well, two SMGs in particular, are stunningly good to the point where I think they outperform hand cannons in many situations in PvP. I want to be clear though, not every situation. There are still moments in PvP where without question a top tier hand cannon will outperform a top tier SMG. We're going to go over those moments shortly, believe me, but for many other situations and duels in PvP, SMGs can clean up with so little effort. If you haven't tried maining an SMG in a while, you're going to be shocked if you pick up a good one and try to alter your build around it. First though, why don't we give credit where credit is due? Hand cannons, without question, still slap, and they slap hard. As of the writing of today's script, hand cannons are still the most used primary weapon type in trials pretty much every weekend. Looking at Destiny Trials report, the most used primary weapon is the Adept Palindrome, which ranks 3 overall. Fatebringer is the 3rd most popular primary, with Last Word and Ace rounding out the top 10 list near the bottom. And all for good reason. Hand cannons have great time to kill and do many things well that SMGs cannot do. One thing is perform really well at medium long range, not medium long. If SMGs are a 6-incher, Palindrome and Ace of Spades are a $5 footlong, hashtag not an ad. Here we are in a private lobby, and with my very well rolled Shira's Wrath, which has 99 range on it overall, it's able to hold max damage up to about 29 meters away. Not too goddamn shabby. Of course, my Palindrome with 86 range managed to hold max damage for up to 34 meters, already noticeably longer than Shira with less range overall. And my Palindrome with 85 range and rangefinder managed to hold max damage up to 37 meters, both of them easily holding damage further than my Shira with the dummy thick range bar. Another thing hand cannons do well that SMGs can't really touch, peak shooting. Because hand cannons are essentially PvP burst damage in the palm of your hand, you can take huge advantage of tapping people while ducking in and out of cover. Pop out, fire a shot, duck back into cover, pop back out, and repeat. Much easier to do with weapons that deal big chunks of burst damage like a hand cannon. Alright, enough barrel polishing hand cannons for a while, because even though there's a lot they do well, SMGs in my opinion have them beat in plenty of other categories. I should mention before we go any further, I'm really going to be talking about my 2 favorite SMGs, maybe a 3rd later, but you probably don't need a freaking crystal ball to guess what they are: Shira's Wrath and the Multi-Mach CCX. While I think there are only 2 worth gushing over, yeah, you could say, well, if there are only 2 that are that good, are SMGs really that good overall? Point taken, but I see both of these 2 as a top-notch proof of concept for SMGs overall. Proof that with the right stats and the right perks, they can absolutely crush in a game of PvP with little effort. Okay, first up, time to kill. 140 RPM hand cannons, aka the type that everybody rocks in PvP, have an optimal time to kill of 0.87 seconds, and that's if you have a headshot ratio of 100%, aka if you miss 1 headshot, that time to kill gets worse. Shira's Wrath and other SMGs of the 600 RPM family have an optimal time to kill of 0.80, and you only need to hit 78% of those shots in the head. Not bad, am I right? The gun's a little bit more forgiving, and because Shira is an SMG, if you miss a headshot or F up at all, don't worry, because the next bullets are going to come out of the gun way quicker than a 4th hand cannon shot. The Multi-Mach has an optimal time to kill of 0.67 seconds with only a required headshot ratio of 82%. Again though, if you miss a headshot or F up, not too big of a deal because the Multi-Mach is a 900 RPM SMG and sprays bullets like a goddamned fire hose. Yeah, we've already covered how SMGs can't hit from as far away as hand cannons reliably, but that would be the trade-off. You close the gap, you play from slightly closer, and your payoff is a better time to kill and a higher floor, meaning it's much easier for you to get that quick time to kill. Alright, next reason why SMGs are awesome. Their accuracy cones do not care. I'm sure most of you know this, but when you spam shots with a hand cannon, your accuracy cone, indicated on your reticle, is going to expand hardcore. You might know this effect by its common name, bloom. It also happens when you jump up and down while holding a hand cannon. Every time you're in the air, the accuracy cone is gonna widen out big time. Now, when I put on the Shira's Wrath and jump, the accuracy cone barely flinches when I go airborne. The multi-mach, if you can believe it, is even more generous. When I jump in the air, it doesn't even look like it's moving at all. Furthermore, when I spam shots hardcore, even in hip fire mode with the multi-mach, that accuracy cone is just rock solid. All of that to me translates to a more consistent weapon performance in the air, on the ground, and when hip firing. Not that I intentionally go around hip firing my SMG because they're so reliable that way. You could completely juke a shotgun ape by simply backing up and shooting while in hip fire mode without having to worry about jank weapon performance. Remember, you move slower when ADSing, so when I back up while hip firing, I'm moving much quicker than I would be if I were aiming, and the performance of my SMG is still crazy accurate. I've punked a ton of shotgun apes this way, and it's funny each and every time. Another thing to mention, lately I've been feeling little to no need to ever add on to my SMG's stability, whereas it's a strong support stat for a hand cannon. I feel a lot of people are going to disagree with me there, since historically, players often look at stability on hand cannons as a dump stat in favor of range. While range is great, completely tanking your stability on a hand cannon is something that I definitely noticed negatively affecting my overall shot performance in game. Meanwhile, take a look at my multi-mach from Iron Banner. It came with a stability masterwork, but that's just what Fate gave me. Even though the weapon stability is 26 overall, which is pathetically tiny, I honestly don't feel like I need any more. Here's me firing out a few mags back to back, and yeah, I'm intentionally trying to control the weapon kick, but even on controller, which has more kick than M&K, I'm barely doing anything, and multi-mach is still able to be really steady with almost no work. My multi-mach even drops with steady rounds in column 2, and I'm directly ignoring it for a smidge more range just because I honestly feel like I don't need the stability. To me, SMGs have been so much easier to wield ever since early 2021 when Bungie toned down the camera movement when firing them. It actually made a much bigger impact than I ever thought that it would. The bottom line though is that I can literally chuck everything into either range or handling on most SMGs that I rock and not feel any worse for wear. Really quick, I'll touch on what I personally feel like you should be looking for if you ever decide you want to farm either of my two favorite SMGs, the Shira or the multi-mach, for a PvP role. For Shira, obviously Adept is a little bit better, but even if you gotta go the non-Adept route, who cares? It's better than no Shira at all. Again, I like dumping everything into range, so barrels like hammer-forged rifling or even full bore would be fine, likewise for accurized rounds. Killing Wind, Tunnel Vision, Dynamic Sway, Heating Up, Quick Draw, and Moving Target in column 3 are all top-tier choices, and while there's a ton of great stuff in column 4, I gotta be real, I just mainly want Kill Clip or Harmony. Harmony if you want to pair Shira with a sniper or any other special weapon you feel would easily get a kill, and Kill Clip if you just want to shred with Shira. For multi-mach, you really want the Model 8 red scope. Yeah, the Model 6 also gives range, but the Model 8 gives one extra zoom on your multi-mach, which IMO is a key factor in the weapon feeling so much better than other SMGs, even exotics like the Huckleberry. Again, I shoot for all range, and either Killing Wind, Threat Detector, Quick Draw, or Dynamic Sway in column 3, they're all great. In column 4, I look for either Kill Clip or Iron Reach. Iron Reach if you want that crazy hot max range neutral game roll, and Kill Clip if you want the ridiculous time to kill potential. Finally, I'll quickly mention a third contender that has big upside at the cost of maybe shoddier performance overall, Taraba. Somebody would probably shoot me if I didn't bring it up, so fine, I will. Taraba's exotic perk, Ravenous Beast, allows you to ramp up your damage on command and hit a stupid time to kill of 0.40 when in beast mode. While that is damn tempting, the downside is that when you're not in beast mode, Taraba performs noticeably worse than multi-mach or Shira. Its top range potential is well under both what multi-mach and Shira can achieve, and it only has a zoom of 16, one less than what multi-mach and Shira can both have. I know, 1 point of zoom doesn't sound like a big deal, but zoom on an SMG is a big factor to why both multi-mach and Shira feel really good. If you're a Titan main and you want to try out maining an SMG, the Peacekeeper Peacekeepers are a borderline mandatory exotic. The movement speed while holding an SMG with and without Peacekeepers on is night and day. Honestly, if you were to look up my in-game player stats, I definitely play Titan the least, but after playing multiple games of PvP with Multimach and Peacekeeper and dropping literal no-effort 40 bombs, I'm strongly considering bumping up Titan in my weekly game rotation. That's all I kind of have to say about that. I can guarantee you that there's at least one player out there who wants to use hand cannons so badly because they're aware of the hype. Maybe their favorite YouTuber or streamer uses them, but maybe they're struggling. Maybe they haven't found their hand cannon rhythm, or maybe they aren't vibing with the weapon type. To those people, I'm telling you, try SMGs. Next time Iron Banner's in town, do not stop until you get a cracked Multimach. Freelance Trials is next week, and even if it's non-adept, go for Shayura if you can. They're epic weapons, and you better believe when Witch Queen drops, I will be on the prowl for a new SMG with high range and high zoom for me to get my dirty little claws on. If you enjoyed today's video, please click like, and of course share your God roll SMGs with me down in the comment section. A big welcome to those who are new subscribers. Thank you very much for clicking that big red button. Also, shout out to the Patreon folk, especially those in these categories. Appreciate all of you big time. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.